Hey guys, well today I'm going to be doing another video which it's a little bit more different than the usual that I do here. Everything I do is actually unusual, but anyways, we're going to be doing a collaboration with 7 other YouTube channels with a spare rib collaboration. And the spices we're going to do is a Creole Seasoning base, some smoked paprika, some black pepper, some dried oregano, some onion powder, garlic powder, and chili powder. The red chili we're going to be using for the mango sauce, which I'll talk to you a little bit later about that. And for the binder, we're going to use some extra virgin olive oil to make sure everything sticks. All right, so before anything, I do want to apologize. This video is not the way I wanted it to make it. We lost some of the media between the time we recorded and the time that we loaded to the editing program, but it happens. So we kind of had to work with what we got, and we didn't know that that happened until we actually started uploading to the editing software. So also the audio was live, but we had to do a voiceover because again, we lost a big chunk of that stuff, and I know that was not going to work well. So anyways, without further ado, we did mix all these spices together, the dry rub. We applied the binder, which is the extra virgin olive oil, on the ribs as always to make sure it sticks. And that is the first step we're going to be doing here. Now, I want to talk to you about the participants in this tag team rib challenge. And the first one is going to be Hickory Heat Barbecue, Barlow Barbecue, Dave's Ohio Barbecue, Rich River Smokers West Virginia, Hobo Nickel Barbecue, Corbecue, and Amum and Claimum Smokers. No particular order, no favorites, just the list that we have here of the participants on this spare rib tag team rib challenge. So to tell you a little bit more about this Creole Seasoning, we got this from Big Lou's Barbecue. You can check him out. I'm going to put his channel in the description. He didn't make the rub, he didn't invent it, and he also explains it on his video that will also post it on the description. But he helped us get this base seasoning for this video. Everyone used different items to add to this Creole base seasoning to make it their own, and I think it's going to taste fantastic. I was kind of going through the spices that was going. It's very simple, but I think it's going to work out as a base seasoning. Now the mango sauce, I made it with some mangoes that I blended it, and I added a little bit of shallots, some I think it was a couple cloves of garlic, some black pepper, a little bit of salt, just to kind of react the sweetness of the mango, and I added this red chilies to give it a little bit of a kick, and also some Valentina Mexican hot sauce, which I think also is going to give it a nice flavor. So for 30 minutes I just put it on the stove and simmered it until it got a little bit more thick consistency. So always make sure that you pat the seasoning. Do not try to do the whole wax on wax off, because that's not going to work well. You're just going to be shifting the rub from left to right, and some of the areas are going to have more rub than the other. So just pat down the rub on the ribs, and that should be enough for it to stick. Remember, you have that binder, so it's going to help it stick properly to that rib. Now I'm going to follow on Barbara's footsteps. Thursday he had a video of trying out a whiskey bottle. I think it was at the Wars that he had, and today I'm going to be doing a Balbini 12. I bought it a couple days ago, and I think it has a great flavor. It has nice smokiness to it, not too much from the region that it's coming from, but I think it's a very great whiskey that you should definitely try. Now, as you know, I always do everything over live coals. That's something that I enjoy cooking. You just have to make sure that you have the right consistency of coals throughout the cook, and make sure you don't have too much of it, and also make sure your vents are open to the right position. It takes a little bit of time to kind of get used to it. At the beginning, you probably find yourself with too much heat and it starts to burn. But the way I do it is always over the coals. I don't do any wrapping. I'm not against it. It's a great step. It helps you get the meat very tender, stay very juicy, but it's just something that I really don't do. I mean, everybody has their own style, but I'm not saying that anybody's doing it wrong. I just have a different approach to it, which works for me. It might not work for you, but it works for me. And this is all what we try to do here. Just have fun, showcase everyone's individual ability, and see how their product turns out. At the end of the day, I'm all about the flavor and the texture of it. I go more for a bark than anything else. I don't go more for to be extremely juicy or anything like that. To me, bark speaks a little bit more than the juiciness of a product. I'm not saying I like dry ribs, but I really don't like ribs, or they feel like they're steamed, or they're just full of, you know, liquids and stuff like that. So that's the reason I cook them over the coals, to kind of give it that grill profile, that asado basically profile that I go after. So I cook it all the time over live coals. Just I don't put too many of them. Maybe I'll go into detail in the future over that. But anyways, let's get to these questions that everyone is answering on this tag team video. And the first one is, how do you get started making YouTube videos? Well, everything started mid of this year in June. A lot of folks was telling me, hey man, we enjoy everything you cook at your house. How about you kind of, do some videos, put it online for us to kind of see it, so that way we can kind of get an idea if we ever want to do something. And I think it'll be great for people to know how you prepare the meats, how do you trim them, how you clean them, and how do you do the temperatures, the timing of it, everything. How do you get that awesome color that you get sometimes. And I said, you know what? Yeah, why not? I'll get to it. Maybe it's a nice side hobby that I can pick up, and that's how everything started. Now the second question is, aside from barbecue, what will be your next favorite hobby? I'd say probably restoring old cars. That's probably my old hobby. I really like old muscle cars, and I did restoration a couple years ago in a 66 Ford Galaxy, but that's probably something I would definitely enjoy as a side hobby. I don't do it now, but definitely I would like to eventually do it one day again. Now it says, what is your favorite thing to cook and the least favorite thing to cook? I think my favorite thing to cook would be, I'd say steak. I think steak is probably my favorite thing to cook. I think it's a very challenging cut of meat, where you have to make sure you get the nice crust on the outside, that nice flavor on the outside, but you have to also make sure you don't overcook it on the inside, and it's very easy to go over that fine line. So that's my favorite thing to cook, I'd say. My least favorite thing to cook, I gotta say, it's gotta be poultry. Like anything that is poultry, any bird, like chicken or turkey, anything like that along those lines, I don't do it. I mean, eventually I might do one or two chickens, kind of to change things a little bit. You're not gonna find me doing things every week or every month with the chicken. So question number 3 is, if you could have anyone in the world join you in a video, dead or alive, who would it be? To be honest, I think I would not even pick any of my friends or family. Usually when I do these grilling sessions at home, I'm on my own. I'm outside, with all this heat here in South Florida, and everybody's usually inside, drinking beer in the AC, or they just congregated somewhere else in the house where it's just more comfortable, not so hot, because it's already hot. I mean, Florida feels like you're inside of a grill the whole time, and then you add these, the heat from another grill, and it gets even hotter. So I gotta say, it's gonna sound a little cheesy, but to be honest, I made some great friends here in YouTube Cook Facebook group, and I think someone I would definitely enjoy to definitely have on a video will probably Barlow Barbecue, Matthew, and also Lass from Lass's Barbecue. He's in Sweden. I believe he's in Sweden. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I think those are the two guys that I think would probably have a blast if I were to do some kind of collaboration in person with. And then the 5th question is, what will be one of your 2 top things on your bucket list? I don't think much of bucket lists, to be honest, but if I had 2 of them, I think it'd probably be skydiving. I'm really not that great with heights, and I'd probably diving on the ocean. And then again, I don't like deep water, so those probably be the only 2 things that I would probably say that is on my bucket list. Anyways, guys, getting back to the ribs here, as you can see, I try to work with them a lot to get a nice color on them. I flip them, every 20-30 minutes. There's no set time, but that's usually my average. And I do that because I want to make sure that I get consistent color on both sides. What I do is, at the end, when it's done, I put this glaze on. I leave it for another 10 minutes with the lid closed to just make sure that the sugars in the sauce will caramelize a little bit and kind of begins to this sticky, gooey kind of coating, and just make it delicious. Alright guys, so like I said, I apologize if this was not the type of video that I really wanted to do. It happens. It's technology. It fails once in a while. So I try to make the best out of it. I just didn't want to be in the blank and not produce anything. but these ribs were fantastic. I want to thank Big Lou Barbecue again for providing us with this Creole-based seasoning. Again, it's not his recipe, but he helped us get this recipe. And like I said, I put the video in the description so you can check him out. And he has fantastic videos. I recommend you guys check his channel out. And he has great videos that I'm sure you guys will find useful and learn a lot from them. Also, the other 7 channels, you're gonna learn a lot from them. They got great stuff. Everybody has different videos, different styles, and I'm sure it's something you're definitely gonna learn from. Like I said, I'm not used to spare ribs, so these bones were kind of going a little bit sideways, and I kind of got confused of where I should start cutting. And I made the mistake of cutting it from the top. Usually with spare ribs, I just remember you have to usually do it from the bottom, otherwise it will shred like you saw this rib here. I mean, it's pretty tender. Some will probably say it's too overcooked for maybe for a competition, but again, I'm not doing a competition. I'm cooking at home. I like stuff to kind of fall off the bone. But as you saw, it has a pretty nice bite mark. So, hey, I think it came out pretty great. And the flavor is fantastic. So I think it's definitely something I would do again, but maybe not on a spare rib. Like I said, I'll probably go with the baby backs, which is usually what I do. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank everybody that stayed tuned and watched this video. And I'll see you guys next time. I'll try to work much better on getting some better content out for you guys. Maybe do different angles. I'm going to get some additional equipment, maybe help on the production value of these videos, and also try to work more on giving you more of step-by-step, a little bit more detailed, that way you can see how I do things. So guys, if you enjoy it, give it a thumbs up and comment and let me know what you think. Anything I can work to get better, I appreciate it. All right guys, I'll see you around.